Hello, everybody. It is Mike. I am back to doing some reviews. It has been a while, but I've watched quite a few movies, so I figured I might as well talk about them. Since that's why I started this channel, because I love movies. I love horror movies, but I love all kinds of movies. Today is a horror movie. It is the 2020 release of Come Play. This movie is fun. It's a fun little movie. But like I said, it was released in 2020, direct to video with the pandemic going on and everything. So much went either direct to streaming or direct to video. So I am glad I picked this up. It took me a while, but I did pick it up. It was directed and written by Jacob Chase, and it stars the main movie. It's 3 stars. It's the mother. Um, Her real name is Gillian Jacobs. In the movie, she is Sarah. Azhy Robertson is the little boy. His name is Oliver. And then John Gallagher Jr. is the dad. His name is Marty. And there are some side characters, some of the little terrorists that bother the little boy. The main one being Winslow Fegley. He played Byron, and he had 2 little accomplices, and some friends of the parents and whatever. But those were the 3 main characters, along with the monster named Larry. The plot for this movie is basically that the little boy Oliver is a special needs child. I'm not sure if he's autistic. He has a lot of autistic things about him, so I'm assuming that that was the premise of the character. He doesn't speak. He uses his cell phone to talk for him. And then the mother and the father have issues and they eventually separate. So the plot is basically this little boy Oliver is very lonely, and he constantly has some kind of screen in his face. Normally it's a phone, but when the phone is lost, he switches over to an iPad. And unbeknownst to him, there is a monster lurking behind his screen, and that monster's name is Larry. And Larry makes himself known by making this story appear on Oliver's screen. It's called The Misunderstood Monster. And the deeper into the story that Larry or that Oliver or anyone gets, the mom, the friends, anybody, the closer to our world Larry gets. And that's what Larry wants. Larry wants to get out because he wants a friend. He doesn't want a friend just to hang out with. He wants to take a friend back with him. So Oliver right away realizes that there's something going on with this particular story, and he stops the story from going forward, because as he went forward, weird things started happening around the house. Lights blew out, different things. So he's at school, and one of the little terrorists, as I call them, one of the boys who wants to bully Oliver, invites him to meet up with some that he heard or saw something out in this field, and the little boy goes out there, and Brian and the other 2 boys basically ambush him, pitch his phone somewhere deep into the field, and he's lost without that phone. It progresses to where, and I'm not going to give it all away, but basically Larry figures out how to get out, and madness ensues. First, he goes after one of the boys, not Oliver, and then eventually he goes after the dad, and then the Oliver and Sarah, and there's a big chase scene and a big sacrifice made towards the end of the movie. I thought the actors did a really good job. All of the characters were believable. They portrayed fear very well, anger, upset. Yeah, they were good. A lot of times kid actors have problems conveying feelings because they're just not old enough necessarily to functionally know how to do that. But all of them were really good. I really appreciated the depiction of Oliver by Azhy. I guess that's how you spell his name. It's Azhy. He's been in a few things. He was really good. Of course, I had an autistic son at one point, so I understand that they do a lot of noises rather than actual speaking until they are verbal. And so I quickly identified with Oliver. The mother was very good. Gillian Jacobs, she was very believable as a stressed out mother with a son who has issues, with a marriage that is failing, and basically all the craziness that went on with this story. So yeah, acting was very good. As far as the scare factor, this is a PG-13 movie, so you're not going to see any blood in this one, but it wasn't needed. It was pretty intense all on its own. Would I suggest this to somebody who's trying to introduce their children into horror? Probably not until they were maybe in their early teens or 15, 16, because there are some very intense moments. And truly, this kind of story would have terrified me as a kid, but I love these kind of, I don't know, ghosty monster stories. I've always kind of went for those more than the gory slashers, even though I do like some of those as well. But yeah, so as far as a scare factor, I would give this one a 7. There are a couple times where it made me jump just because things happened that I didn't expect. And there were a couple of times where I was just really like, oh my God, get out! Because the intensity level was pretty high. So as far as Come Play goes, it will stay on my shelf. I do have a slipcover for this too, but I didn't feel like picking it up. But yeah, it is a fun little scary horror flick that I truly enjoyed. There's nothing in there. But yeah, so if you like fun little monster movies or kind of ghost-like stories, you do actually get to kind of see Larry. Not really, you just kind of see the shape of Larry. And when Larry gets mad, watch out. But yeah, if you like these kind of stories, please check it out. All right, guys, that is it for my first review in probably a year. I'll talk to you later.